Good morning everyone and welcome back to another video. I am starting the video here at home for a workout video because I'm actually not going to take this camera because I've got loads to fucking carry, and starting a vlog on the big camera is very difficult. So hello, we are doing a workout video today. I'm off to the gym now. We are doing a lower body workout. Hope you guys are excited and ready for a difficult workout. It's brutal, but you know what? It does the job. We're gonna go and do it. I do my usual format where I'll talk more after the workout and we'll go through the exercises and everything like that, because I know some people are just here just to see the workout. So I will catch up with you afterwards. It is a little bit later now. Hannah is still here. Hannah did the workout. What did you think of the workout?
Sorry.
Hannah says it's all right to everything. Anyway, workout is done, but let's talk through it a little bit. So first up we had squats. Squats are very difficult, okay? Do you agree?
Yes.
They're difficult to get right. It is very hard to get them right. The key points that I have, and I'm sorry if you are subscribed and you've heard all of this before, but there are new people who might not know what squats need to have. For the key points for a squat are: your feet need to be completely on the floor, your heels can't lift up. If your heels lift up, it's not a squat, it's more like a slut drop, let's be honest. So heels need to be on the floor. You need to get good depth. Good depth is basically your hip crease needs to be below your knees, but that is great form. If you can't get that low, that is completely fine. Feet Feet need to be hip width apart. Little bit wider is fine. I go a little bit wider. Toes pointing outwards. Toes pointing... Toes pointing outward will help you with pointing your knees outward. You want to have your knees going out as well as when you're like going down, or like you want to have it out going on the down and you want to have it out going on the up. Will you stop making me laugh, man? That is going to bring the outside of your glutes into it. You want for the movement to start at your hips. This is up for debate, so if you start with your knees, that is fine, but you just don't want your knees going forward to be the majority of the movement. This is what she struggles with. You don't want your knees going way forward. They can once you're probably about halfway down through the squat, but you don't want it, okay? So I always say start with the hips, bring the hips back and down. It's kind of like a arch kind of movement. Then allow your knees to go where they need to get to the depth, okay? Okay, then when you're at the bottom of the movement, to bring yourself back up, you want to use your glutes. That doesn't mean squeeze them. You don't need to listen to this yet because you're not this advanced. But that doesn't mean squeeze them. I mean you having your glutes working should be what is bringing you up on the movement. Not the entire thing. Your quads are working in squats as well. But you want to imagine your bum lifting you up to standing position. If you struggle with squats, the best like progression to do is to start with goblet squats with a box, which is what she's doing at the minute. She's doing box squats. That's just where you have a plyo box, which is what Hannah is using, or a bench, and you like sit down onto the bench and then come back up. You can do that with a dumbbell, or you can do it with that body weight and then work up to a dumbbell and then remove the bench, or you can just remove the bench and then do a body weight and then do it with a dumbbell.
Are you okay?
I don't think so. Do whichever progression feels right for you. If you do not like back squats when you're doing them, I do high back squats as well. There are also low bar back squats. There are tons of different variations, and that is completely okay if you don't like certain ones. Find one that works for you. It's just I find back squats the easiest to progress on, so like getting heavier, and I much prefer high bar squats. So figure out which one you want to do, but I have this as my primary lift. If you were doing it as a goblet squat, you're probably not going to be able to do as heavy. So I would definitely say have some type of barbell in there, or use like a hack squat, but even then that's kind of a different exercise. So I would start with squats because that is the workout for me. Next we are on to Bulgarian split squats. These are not lunges, these are Bulgarian split squats. I do them a bit differently than what people normally do them, like doing them on the bench. I do it with a bar. I actually normally do it on a Smith machine, but today there was a very long wait for the Smith machine and the bar was open, the rack was open. So there were like two different ways that you can do this. I much prefer it with the bar and the barbell pad. I think you can get better range of motion. You can get better form for it. The form for it is you want your hips to be going back and down. So you want to be on that angle. I think when you're doing it with the bench, you can only really go down. It's very hard to do that angle. So having it on a bar and the barbell pad that kind of spins a bit means you can go back and down. You don't want too wide of a stance. I see people doing these with a really wide stance, and that's fine. But for great form to get your glutes and your quads is to have it not too far away on that front foot, going back and down, not putting too much weight on that back foot. You want your front foot to be taken all of the weight for this exercise. Like I said, it's for your glutes and your quads, mainly the glutes. If you want to load this up like what we did, you just grab a dumbbell. You can hold it in any way you want. I prefer a contralateral hold, which basically means I hold it in the opposite side of the leg that's working. So if my left leg is out at the front, I hold it in my right leg. I much prefer that because then there isn't a leg in the way. But you can do it on the same side. You can also hold it like a goblet, and you can also use a barbell. You do kind of need really good balance to do barbell Bulgarian split squats, but if you want to do them, that's completely your call. Again, like the squats, stop dancing in the background, please. It's a very serious part of the video. So like with the squats, just find a variation that you like. If you like doing it with a bench, do it, but Brett Contreras does recommend doing them in the way that I've doing them, and he is literally the glute guy, the glute god. So make your mind up which one you want to do. Final leg exercise that we have is seated hamstring curl. Pretty basic. I think this is an exercise machine that nearly every gym has. The only key teaching points that I'd say, apart from like the obvious thing of how to move it, is try and keep the arch in your back minimal. I've mentioned this in other videos, but the way I like to train is I do 2 hard sets per exercise and the other ones are form. In the hard sets, if you get a bit of an arch, that's fine, but try not to make it excessive. If you are having to arch your back hugely to get the weight up, it's probably not going to be good for you. So only keep a bit of an arch there if you need it for heavy sets, and then try and do some lighter sets with good form where your back is against the backrest? The backrest.
The seat.
Or the seat. Also, try and not let your calves to do a lot of work. You want to try and keep your feet in any position, but the same position. I've found that I actually like my feet flexed the entire way through, but if you are starting, not flexed, dorsiflexion. I've forgotten the words for it. I like say these are your feet. I prefer my toes pointed. But if you start the movement with your feet up like that, and then when you're pulling it under...
Are you?
And then when you're pulling the weight under, you do that, your calves are going to be doing more work. So try and just find the position that you like your feet to be in and keep them there. The movement's pretty simple. There's normally an explanation of how to do the movement on the exercise, so I'm not going to run through it, but they're the 2 points that I think I see people doing wrong the most. Last one, we had an ab exercise in there, and that was plank kettlebell pull through. This is also really good for your shoulders, like loads of the little muscles in your shoulders and your back. It's really good for that as well. You want to make sure, obviously you have to do this in tall plank, so you have to make sure that your hands are staying underneath your shoulders. It is so easy for your hands to come up. Try and keep them underneath the shoulders. Your bum needs to stay as still as possible. That's the thing. There is 100% going to be movement in here when you're like reaching under. It would be very, very difficult to not move your bum when you're going underneath yourself, but you want to try and keep it as still as possible. It's not like completely going over to the side. You want to keep your shoulders engaged and make sure you're not putting the kettlebell next to your hand like what Hannah did. You want the kettlebell kind of easy to reach. So if you have, put your arms out like you're doing it, please. If you're putting the kettlebell here, it's going to use your other hand to try and get the kettlebell the way that we do it. It's going to be very hard to come up and grab this kettlebell, whereas if you have the kettlebell down here, getting it is very easy to grab it. So make sure it doesn't go too far up, and you also want to make sure that it is like quite far out. Don't just put it underneath your body, because then you're not going to get the like thoracic extension, which is thoracic extension, rotation, I don't know. I'm all out of my PT words today. The top of your back isn't going to rotate at all, which is what we're doing to try and help with our shoulder. That's what I'm doing to try and help with my shoulder. You're not going to get any of that rotation, so try and make sure that it's far enough away that it's giving you a little bit of like stretch rather than just picking up the dumbbell and moving it. If you're only doing this for abs, you can put it there if you want, but I think just why not work your shoulder, you rotate a cuff kind of thing, why not? This is a very short workout, but I have mentioned in other videos, we are trying to go for 10 to 20 sets per muscle per week. And because I have other workouts this week that I work on my lower body, it is very easy for me to get my 10 to 20 sets in with only doing 3 exercises. Because in this exercise alone, squats is working quads and glutes. Then Bulgarian split squats is working quads.
Are you okay?
No! Let's start again. Squats is working quads and glutes. Bulgarian split squats are using quads and glutes. And then hamstring curl are using your hamstrings. So we have quite a lot of like volume in there already because we're doing like 4 sets. So just make sure you're doing 10 to 20 sets per week and do the reps that feel good for you. I work between like probably 5 and 8 for my heavy sets, and then 8 to 12 for my light sets, and some are even higher than that. That's the kind of way I work it, but that all comes down to your perceived like rate of exertion. If you're finding something very, very difficult, it doesn't matter what weight you're using, you want to be 1 to 5 reps away from failure for muscle gain. So whatever weight you're using, try and stick about the 1 to 5 reps away from complete failure, like can't move the weight kind of failure, and you'll be good. That's all you need for muscle gain. If it's weight loss, it's a bit different, but I'm not here for weight loss. I'm here to teach you how to put on muscle. So that is the workout. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to leave it a like. If you are going to give it a try, please let me know. I love hearing that. You're going to give it a try, aren't you, again?
What?
You're going to give it a try again, the workout. I don't know why I ask her stuff. If you are new, please make sure to subscribe. We have workouts quite regularly on the channel, so just let me know if there are any particular workouts you would like to see. But thank you so much for watching. I shall hopefully see you in another video. Do you want to say bye, Han?
Bye, Han.
I'm gonna cut that out. Thank you so much for watching, and I hopefully will see you in another video. Bye.